Welcome back to This Week with ClearAdmit. I'm Graham Richmond, ClearAdmit's co-founder. If you're an international student worried about the new H-1B policy that was announced by the White House, we're going to touch on that today to try to tackle each of the angles here. The first thing I want to talk about is just clarifying the news. So H-1Bs aren't ending. What's happened is there's now a $100,000 fee attached to getting the visa. Obviously, as we learned over the weekend, this does not apply to people who already have the visa. We heard about people rushing to get back to the US on flights, all for naught, because this only applies to people who are applying for an H-1B going forward. Other things that are unchanged, the F1 student visa is still the same. You come to America, you get a visa that allows you to study in an MBA program. And as most of the top MBA programs, if not all, are STEM certified, that allows you to then stay and work after business school for up to 3 years as part of that STEM OPT. None of that's changing. And I do want to emphasize that because timing matters here. If you're applying to business school now as an international student, thinking about coming to the US, you apply, you graduate in 28, right? Because it's going to be a couple years before you graduate. Then you stay for 3 years on your STEM OPT, right? And that's taking you to 2030, 2031, at which point you would, look with your employer to get an H-1B. So I just want to give people that context because this is a long ways off. And in fact, we might not even have the same administration in power come 2031. In fact, we're definitely not going to, right? So that's important to remember because this rule could be rescinded, modified, etc. So keep that in mind. The other thing to remember is that when you think about this price tag, well, which companies could afford to pay $100,000 to retain and attract great talent? It's probably the big guns, the Googles, the Amazons, the Apples, the Microsofts, McKinseys. And those are exactly the folks that are employing MBA graduates. So I'm a little less concerned than some. There's been a lot of gloom and doom on the internet. Obviously, this is not a good decision, I don't think, on the part of the current administration. But I don't think it's the end of getting an MBA in the United States for international students. There's still a lot of opportunity, and these programs are still really, really amazing with incredible global networks. So the bottom line is that the US, I think, remains a strong path. Don't let the headlines derail your kind of long-term goals here. That's the news this week for ClearAdmit. I'm Graham Richmond. We'll see you next week.